Hello, everyone. I'd like to share to you today about witnessing to the truth. My name is Abiong Kalo, and welcome to Pathways of Hope. Our gospel for today is taken from Mark chapter 6, verses 14 to 29. And this is mainly about the beheading of John the Baptist. But it all started with Herod being confused who this Jesus Christ is. He was so confused because others would say that it's Elijah or one of the prophets of old. And they also thought that he was John the Baptist brought back to life. And he knew that he beheaded John the Baptist. And the rest of the story was about how John was beheaded. See, John said to Herod that his relationship with Herodias, the wife of his brother Philip, was unlawful. And when Herod heard this from John, he was actually disturbed and perplexed and puzzled. But he liked listening to John. So he kept John. But one day he threw a party. And in that party, the daughter of his wife, Herodias, danced. And Herod was so pleased and then promised this girl to give whatever she asked. And the mother asked the daughter to ask for the head of John the Baptist. Herod was perplexed. Herod was so sorry to hear about the request. But because Herod wanted to save his face, he decided to give in to the request and gave the head of John the Baptist. What can we learn from this gospel? I'd like to suggest three things. First is that there's an importance for us to preach the truth, to witness to the truth, to proclaim the truth, especially in these darkened times, even if it will cost us our life. That's what John the Baptist did. He saw something was wrong. He proclaimed the truth. And so I pray, my dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters, that we will find courage, that God will pour out His grace upon us, that we might not be afraid to preach and to proclaim the truth. The second thing is for us to rely on the power of that truth. You see, even though Herod was tyrant and kind of evil, when he heard John, it disturbed him. In fact, he found beauty in the words of John. He liked listening to John. You see, even the hardest of hearts, the Word of God can penetrate. So let's rely on the power of the Word of God, the power of the good news. And that should also give us the confidence to speak of the truth, to speak of the gospel, especially during these times. The third, actually, is to pray that the people, when they hear the truth, they may not harden their hearts, that they may not be so concerned with what others would say, that they might turn to the Lord. But this can also apply to us. That let's not be like Herod, who kind of recognized the truth, but because he wanted to save his face, gave in to what is evil. So when you hear His voice, when you hear God speaking to you, to preach the word, to preach the truth, let's not harden our hearts. Let's follow God. God bless us all.